I apologize. I think that was extraordinarily rude of me. But thank you for offering me this chance to speak very, very briefly. My name's Madeleine Dean, and I'm running between Judiciary and Financial Services hearings. And I'm supposed to ask questions in about 3 minutes. But I wanted the chance to be here with you in this extraordinary organization. Less Cancer. Cancer has impacted my family, many, many members of my family. I'm not over the fact that my mother died of ovarian cancer in very rapid order. My uncle of bladder cancer, my good friend of lung cancer, my other good friend of lung cancer, not even being a smoker. So I've got cancer on my mind. But I'll focus on another area, and it has to do with PFAS. So I'll acknowledge real quickly, I don't know if I see Rokana here. Rep. Kildee, I did see you. Hello, Dan, for your leadership. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, I understand, is Skyping in later. And I see you have exposure. We had the opportunity to have Attorney Rob Bilott for a special screening of dark waters in my district, because my district has the PFAS water contamination issue in it, stemming from Willow Grove Naval Air Base, the legacy of firefighting foam that is from there. Pardon my voice, I don't always sound like this. So I want to thank Less Cancer's founder, Bill Cousins, for your dedicated work, extraordinary dedicated work on preventative cancer programs. Is Mindy Mismer here? Where's Mindy? She was here. Mindy is a friend and has helped me in my area. There's Mindy. Hello, Mindy. How are you? Good to see you. Former New Hampshire representative, scientist, advocate, leader, and you've taught me so much, dedicated fighter in the battle to rid our communities of the forever chemical PFAS. Thank you for joining me in my district on that issue, and I need your continued support and leadership and smarts on it. And New Hampshire is a great example of how we can approach PFAS water contamination. The contaminant exists on more than 400 military bases nationwide, as we all know. It is in 48 states. I'm sure it must be in those other 2. They just haven't identified it yet. And it threatens the health and safety of those who live nearby. We see these cases in my area. We just met a gentleman who is a father of 2 young daughters. He and his wife have both had cancers. They are right abutting the Willow Grove Naval Air Base. And he said, I wish I had grandchildren, but both of my daughters in their 20s had to have hysterectomies because of the threat of cancer. This is very real in our communities, and people for decades have been telling us so. The EPA website describes the effects, low infant birth weights, effects on the immune system, and cancer, and yet we still haven't called this a contaminant, a toxin, as we should. Over the last year, there is some light, some hope. In my very district, we got a $1 million health study for Montgomery County, one of only 7 in the country. It's only a small start, but it's an important start. We also just got released $2.8 million from the Air Force to stop the ongoing contamination. Maddening to me is that there is ongoing contamination off this base, literally directly into a state park. It's sickening. I've been on the base twice after a heavy rain the previous day, and you can see the ground surface water flying into a state park pond that the state actually stocks with fish. And it is PFAS contaminated water. So we did get $2.8 million for a retention and filtration, permanent retention and filtration system at that ongoing outlet. The fight continues. We must address this challenge with a national solution, which means that listing, number 1, PFAS as a toxin, banning its manufacture, regulating its disposal, cleaning up our water supplies, and providing health testing and treatment to everyone who needs it. As we connect all this back to cancer, I like to go back to Pennsylvania's Constitution. Article 1, Section 27 says, we, the people, have the right to clean air, clean water, and the preservation of our natural aesthetic, not just for us, but for generations to come, like my 3 grandchildren. And of course, all of that connects to our health, our public health, and the reduction and someday the elimination of cancers. Thank you again, Mr. Cousins.